angels. Today, I would like to discuss with you a tarot reading that I drew this morning. And to give you a nice visual to watch along the way, I will be designing this eye look. If you enjoy introspection as well as glam rock makeup, I invite you to follow along. And if you really enjoy the content by the end, feel free to subscribe. But for now, let's talk tarot. I experienced a few days of intense judgment and felt I had utterly failed at meeting expectations set by either myself or by others. So I asked the cards, what can I do to access a space free of judgment and expectation? I said this in my head a few times as I sat on the floor shuffling the cards. The first card I drew was none other than Judgment. How wild, or at the very least coincidental, that my question surrounding judgment was met by this card. And this is what I discovered from it. My body is feeling the turmoil of expectation and the judgment of having met them or otherwise. I feel it in my chest. It's heavy. In response, the card says we must transcend judgment by flying above it. At the zenith, we may see the anxiety, the fear, but we're not bound to it. So let it go. Fly far from it. Your body is telling you it's not only ready for a break, but it is ready to exist in bliss where there is truth and there is creativity. The second card drawn is the Hierophant, and it has this to say. Perched on the key of knowledge, we search for truth and we recognize that we are in need of guidance. We need something to give us permission to explore or proceed with an endeavor that may or may not yield the results we seek. Of course, in relation to those pesky expectations, these results and how we meet them are not free from judgment. It is as though we are given a key and 3 doors to choose from, and despite not knowing what's behind a single one of them, we fall victim to judgment when we make a choice to unlock one, but not the others. And God forbid what's on the other side isn't perfect. Perhaps instead of seeking guidance to the results, a yellow brick roadmap to the best life, seek instead guidance to a judgment-free environment. This card also implores us to be with the reality that we are not alone. We have mentors, we have friends, we also have apps, YouTube, and the internet. The search for truth does not need to be solitary. The search can be supported by a practice even, maybe a daily practice like meditation or writing a bit every day. Something like ruminating and taking actions supported by those ruminations. I think it'd be a great idea to let a practice guide you to your inner bliss. Our final card in the body, mind, spirit structure will inform our spiritual realities and guide our realities beyond the physical world. The card we draw is the Wheel of Fortune. How funny it is that we are contemplating what door to choose as though we have a choice, when the Wheel of Fortune is here to tell us that what we are supposed to become is going to happen. Be mindful that the card isn't saying, hey, you're meant to be a movie star, so relax, sit back, you'll become a movie star eventually. No, what it says is that truth is in perpetual motion, and the truth of our destinies is shaped by our unfixed calling. It's those things that you can't stop thinking about. The goals and plans we've wanted to achieve since we can remember. And these can be in flux. They can change as everything else does, especially as we mature and as we explore and decide, this is for me, but hey, this thing that I thought was for me actually isn't for me. And you know what? That's okay. This card is not only permission, but a promise that change is near. Whatever near means for you, it could be a few months or a few short years. But this change will bring you closer to your truth. Or perhaps it's your truth that will bring you closer to your change. When your truth in the moment is clear for you, take hold. What you grasp in your hands is your destiny manifested. Do not judge it. Let it play the mentor role and allow it to shape your truth, if only for that moment. All in all, we are rife with judgment because we all have egos that do not sleep. But we have access to freedom of judgment in pockets, in these moments that are met by having a healthy practice. And as long as you let that practice be your mentor, your guide to moments of freedom and bliss, you will reach your goals. After all, how can anyone reach their goals without shedding the debris of judgment and entering the flow state where judgment does not and cannot burden us? If you are feeling the weight of judgment, then go to your practice and find your flow. It is there you will find your truth. I hope you enjoyed this video. I invite you to subscribe and to speak with me in the comments if you have anything to add. You can also follow Satan Studios on Instagram for content you cannot find on YouTube. Well, I love you, angels. Until next time. Bye-bye.